Today we're going to cover attend industry conferences on supplier diversity. Our task is going to be identify and attend industry and supplier diversity conferences and other functions to source qualified diverse suppliers. So supply management responsibilities. Fundamental responsibility of supply management professional is the identification of qualified suppliers that can meet organizational needs. So finding qualified diverse suppliers merely adds another dimension to this function. So the same basic principles for supplier outreach apply, adjusted to focus on opportunities to integrate diverse suppliers into the supply base. To integrate diverse supplier strategies into the strategic sourcing process, begin by profiling the sourcing group. Determine a baseline spend with diverse suppliers, research the market potential for diverse suppliers, understand current and past successes with diverse suppliers, and conduct stakeholder meetings. Supplier diversity initiatives. Below are some initiatives utilized to shape the performance of a supplier diversity program. So close integration with sourcing, including strategic sourcing initiatives. This assumes you have a separate supplier diversity individual or group. Annual objectives coupled with quarterly reports. Expanding reach of performance metrics to increase accountability among team members on supplier diversity. And executive leadership and support involvement. Establishment of supplier diversity with system-wide purchasing, which means basically putting them on their annual goals. Accounting for achieving year-over-year supplier diversity objectives at all levels in the organization, and frequent review of the supplier diversity performance against objectives. It's the only way to know if you're making progress. Once the organization has identified the opportunities for diverse suppliers, then they can identify options for finding qualified diverse suppliers. So you need to identify the opportunities first, then go look for the suppliers. As part of the internal analysis and planning considerations, these elements are part of them. Include diverse suppliers in RFIs. Encourage aggressive participation of diverse suppliers through follow-up if the response rate to the RFX is too low. Adjust screening size to avoid bias against diverse suppliers. Usually diverse suppliers are smaller. Identify all potential suppliers and develop RFP selection criteria to enable inclusion of value-added diverse suppliers. So don't require certain financial aspects. So, I mean, generally diverse suppliers are going to be smaller businesses. Internal, external opportunity fairs, options for finding diverse suppliers, outreach, external efforts to find diverse suppliers, and inreach, internal efforts to find diverse suppliers. So you got outreach and inreach. Some internal efforts might include organization-wide program for diverse supplier awareness, utilize internal newsletters or blogs or whatever you got, email bursts, active endorsement of the CEO, active endorsement by the CEO or president. Have them send an all-company email. Interface with procurement personnel to encourage greater use of SDBs, supplier diversity business, I think is what that is. Conduct in-house workshops and training programs, host international opportunity fairs or internal opportunity fairs and trade shows. Evaluate business utilization against supplier diversity program and take corrective action when necessary. Establish a diverse business source list. And attend local, national, and global conferences. External efforts. Attend opportunity fairs. Many entities, including cities, counties, states, Women and minority organizations conduct business fairs. And the NMSDC, or the National Minority Supplier Development Council, sponsors business fairs throughout the U.S. For a schedule, you can visit their website, which is here. These guys have been around a while. Strategic outreach efforts. Supply management must provide maximum opportunities to diverse businesses to compete for contracts. So resources available to increase diverse supplier participation. Contact minority business trade associations, network with business development organizations, attend minority business procurement conferences and trade fairs, join national and global supplier diversity councils and organizations, participate in other matchmaking or networking events, facilitate organization-specific procurement events in the form of how to do business with XYZ organization. Utilize digital and national magazine ads to attract new business concerns and identify global initiatives and integrate into the diverse business plan. You can also set up an external website that for your company that allows companies to sign in. You can tell them on the website you're looking for diverse suppliers, and they can put their contact information there, and you can go check them out later. Introductions in matchmaking. One solution to find opportunities for diverse suppliers, matchmaking team. Specialized teams should include supply management professionals in various functions and divisions of the organization and relevant members of the supplier diversity leadership team, if applicable, if you have a separate supplier diversity leadership team. The matchmaking team participates in brainstorming sessions to identify potential stakeholders for successful coordination of skills, supply, and demand needs. The best matches will result not only from meeting organizational needs, but also from meeting the needs of the first-tier suppliers who are searching for methods to reduce operating costs, attempting to improve their image in diverse communities, incorporating supplier diversity initiatives into their own organizations, and seeking to form strategic agreement with customer organizations. So this is tier 1 suppliers here. Customer engagement. Often the customer base will dictate local diverse supplier sourcing. Purchasing needs to match the changes in their customer base with their supply base. And this is particularly true if it's a consumer product or consumer service. In addition to understanding and changing the mix in small business suppliers, purchasing needs to learn methods to utilize tools to develop and ensure long-term viability of their diverse supplier efforts. Event strategy. Purchasing is often given the responsibility for planning and facilitating matchmaking events and for monitoring and tracking results. The results should be reported to management to justify future budgets and future resources in support of supplier diversity. And attendees. There are many ways to set up a matchmaking event. A typical event may be set up in an audience/presenter format, where the supplier would be the presenter. Select the format that is best suited for the organization's style and culture. Hosted event. Organizations that assist in the matchmaking process are the NMSDC and the Minority and Women Business Enterprises. Executive participation. Executives should acquire an understanding of cultures, histories, and values and leverage these insights to connect to diverse suppliers. Small business conferences. These are forums established to facilitate the exchange of information. So federal, state, and local government agencies frequently do these. The overall purpose is to enable small business and supply management to interact. So small business increase their understanding of the requirements, and supply management can assess small businesses' capabilities and qualifications. Professional sourcing services, outsourcing of supply management processes. So more typically, businesses select 1 or 2 supply management processes to outsource. As interest has grown, so too has the number of providers Some companies provide their service online, while others offer consulting and on-site services, temp services, that type of thing. Professional sourcing companies can help with defining diverse sourcing goals, establishing diverse supplier programs, and identifying diverse suppliers. So these professional sourcing organizations can I've probably set this up for a number of companies and can get you started pretty quickly. All right. Important activities in finding qualified diverse suppliers is attending internal and external opportunity fairs. Who is the largest sponsor of these events throughout the United States? The National Chamber of Commerce? I don't think so. National Supplier Diversity Council? Maybe. Federation of State Chambers of Commerce? No. National Supplier Development Council? NSDC. I'm going to guess D. D it is. National Supplier Diversity Council sponsors more opportunity fairs than anyone else in the United States. Supply Management Department of a mid-sized service organization is charged with doubling the organization's relatively small diversity spend within 18 months. Which of the following courses of action would be least effective in helping to meet this objective? So which answer doesn't belong? Consolidating the supply base and using e-procurement. Now, what are we trying to do? Doubling the organization's small diversity span. That's probably the answer there, because reducing the supply base is not going to help smaller suppliers, which are usually your diverse suppliers. Establishing tracking and reporting system, that's going to help. Reviewing current supplier policies and programs, that will help. And establishing fixed and discretionary spend targets, that would help. So the answer's got to be A. Yep. Okay. When developing a diverse supplier plan, the supply management professional should identify efforts to provide diverse businesses with maximum practicable opportunities to compete for contracts and subcontracts. Finding diverse suppliers who offer competitive solutions to meet organizational needs can be a demanding process. One solution to this task is to form a matchmaking team. In addition to understanding and changing the mix in small business suppliers, supply management professionals need to learn methods and utilize tools to develop and ensure the long-term viability of their diverse supplier efforts. All right, let's go find some questions. We want K1. Oh, you got a bunch of questions. 15 of them, 16 of them. All right. Go ahead and get rolling on them. We'll go over answers in a few minutes. Okay, answers. 2K1. Okay, answer to number 1 is Bravo. Number 2 is Charlie. Number 3 is Delta. 4 is Charlie. 5 is Delta. 6 is Bravo. 7 is Bravo. 8 is Bravo. 9 is Delta. 10 is Charlie. 11 is also Charlie. 12 is also Charlie. 13 is Bravo. 14 is Bravo. 15 is Charlie. And 16 is Bravo. All right, next we're going to work on K2.